man called John Hassman. He said there are three kinds of entrepreneurs or three kinds of people. One, an unsuccessful entrepreneur. We know those unsuccessful entrepreneurs. Mashkakumba, maybe from the ghettos, nonana mai vachi tamadomas on a daily basis. And 10 years, 15 years, muna ask progress. Someone said, if something is not growing, then it's dying. Something that is not growing is dead. And it tells us that there is a table here, there is a chair. It's not growing, so it's dead. So if your business is not growing, it's actually dying. So these are unsuccessful entrepreneurs. Then the next one, he talks about those temporary successful entrepreneurs. We have heard about entrepreneurs who become successful overnight. And it's time we have some entrepreneurs who made a lot of money, but all of a sudden our sister married. So those are kind of entrepreneurs. And also the last one, these are the permanent successful entrepreneurs. People who have an impact on people's lives. I just want to tell a story or stories of what happened to me. There was a time at Tonderayi College, we actually at MSU, we started a business. We realized an opportunity. Midland State University, a lot of students, about 12,000 students. So we said, okay, Tinema Dome, we want to turn our dome into a tuck shop. That was what we decided to do. And also those days, Dome introduced what we charge. So we made a lot of money. I remember there was a time that I used to marry my buckets, Agazara. So I remember that I'm a 4-2. That semester, I remember that man was good enough to buy a car. So not different. So what I did, I'm going back to Harare. So what I want to do, if I go back to Harare, I want to buy some computers. So I bought some computers for my students. On my way to Harare, I lost everything. I remember till the bus stop, takabata my computers, so road. I remember when I got home, my wallet shit, everything road. So I was a successful temporary entrepreneur. Then later on, when I started working in Harare, so I went to use it. There's a crop of students who are coming through, and the lecturers, they want my students to get my laptop. So they couldn't afford my laptops, my brand new laptop. So I said, no, is it not possible for us to get my second-hand laptops? Then we sell them at half the price. So I talked to my friend that, no, it's okay, let's do that. So I have my advice by use it. My advice angaka wonder, so I use it, yes, in my advice. Then the next day, we received a lot of calls. So when I was at work and my friend was on the ground. So I take some laptops until we ran out of supply in my laptops. So my second hand laptops, no supplier, Pamba. Then after about 3 weeks, I called my friend, no, Tashka pipe near my profits. And he told me, no, profits out. So I was heartbroken. So I was a successful entrepreneur, but for a short period of time. So we need to define what is an entrepreneur. So we said there are three types of entrepreneurs. And successful entrepreneurs, they don't grow and stagnant. 20 years doing the same things, no improvement. Then we have those, we say, there's a temporary successful entrepreneurs. And what you remember, Juta entrepreneurs. What happened with Juta and Zumbani entrepreneurs? And quite a diwa, but Munuesa Kwenda Ikoko. And it's our vision, there's nothing. Quite a Zumbani, Zumbani. And if you get into town right now, my shopping complex also things are him. So we need to define what is a true entrepreneur. Let me take you through the journey of a man called Alexander Flemings. This man is the man who discovered penicillin in based at Cape's Pharmaceuticals, and so we are into medicines. So this man, what happened is like people were dying. This time in World War I and also World War II. People, they were dying, pampacinama penicillins, pampacinama antibiotics. So as people were dying, people, they were trying to look for solutions. So people, they are saying things are hard and difficult in Harare or in Zimbabwe. But this is the time where there are opportunities. So you need to open your eyes and see the opportunities that we have. Because whenever there is a problem, there are a lot of opportunities. So this man was trying to find a solution for the infection. Because at that time, when I got to Caesar, C-section, then infection, then they were going to die. Small infection, people, they were dying. So everyone was looking for a solution. This man now was trying his level best to come up with a solution for the infection. So he accidentally left dish, samples ake bacteria, and he went there for some weeks. When he came back, he realized no, the bacteria was not growing. Paitama molds. So the molds actually control the growth of bacteria. So he said no, so this could be a solution to the problem that is facing humanity. So what can I do now? So he tried to look for partners and it failed. Later on he passed away, but there's a company known as Pfizer, if you know it, one of the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world, in a net worth about 220 billion. So what they did, they took over the plant, then they started making antibiotics. That was actually a breakthrough. About 1948, I think about World War II. So they started to supply my antibiotics. So this business, you can imagine, from 1948, this is now 2022. Net book value 220. Then also my annual sales is about 89 billion. So you see, when you talk about entrepreneurship, when you talk about a true entrepreneur is someone who's able to find opportunities through problems. People, they say, no, things must change, but people must change. Look at what happened to Strive Masiu. And there was a time when he was working for PTC and Bambana HTML phones. I remember that time we were still young, touched our landline. But when PTC, you would apply, went up a waiting list, and things were not moving. Even right now, if you look what is happening, if you want to apply maybe internet, you get into all sorts of problems. I was trying to apply. No network, what they were giving all sorts of challenges. What they wanted is they want a bribe. And you can imagine you are paying someone a bribe to get a service. To end up with online. Same things. So these are the problems that we have. But they're saying we have an entrepreneurs. And these are the opportunities that are there. So Strive Masiu, what did you do? On not part challenge, you proposed a solution. Let's do this. Got to wireless communication. But everyone was resisting that. But right now, I was reading last week, he's the 89th richest person in what? In the UK. What is that? Because it's what? It's entrepreneurship. So, I want to distinguish between a hustler and an entrepreneur. Because usually people, they will think, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a hustler. So there's an issue of a vision. Hustlers, they don't have a vision. They don't solve problems. They look for opportunities. More opportunities, they will go for those opportunities, they will make money, and they will blow up the money. These are temporary, successful entrepreneurs. But now a successful entrepreneur, they have a vision. They see a problem. You can imagine people like William Colgate. William Colgate is the founder of Colgate, isn't it? He started this business in 1806, but it has survived from that time to this time because of what he realized the problems that were facing, the problems that were there, and how people were actually they were in need. So the hustlers now, they have short-term vision. All they want is money. They don't have any. They're not worried about the social impact of what they are doing. Like what Munya was saying, someone is getting into business. They are not worried about the community. They are not worried about the impact. They are not worried about making any impact on the society. They want profits, and after getting the profits, they will just go away. They have no vision. If you ask one writer, okay, what's your vision actually? What drives a business is the demand, the problem that you see in the community. You try to solve those problems, but the problems are not solved up. And everyone then what? Apana market. Have you ever seen certain people they start keeping broilers and then they will try to find the market after broilers are mature. 6 weeks they are trying to find the market. So these are the hustlers. And also quick returns. if you look at the business right now, even in Zimbabwe, people, they want quick returns. But if you look at the people like Vana Henry Ford, they came up with the ideas, and those ideas were sustained over a long period of time. So let us look at the ethics. The ethics of doing business. I remember there was a time when I wanted to buy my first car. Ndareza mari yangu and I want to buy a first car. So ndakaenda kuna salesperson that I'll call a hustler, not an entrepreneur. Then I said, no, I want to buy this car. So I saw the car and I said, tomorrow I'm going to come back again, and then I'll make the payment, because I was happy with the quality of the car. Then the next day comes, I'm phoning that guy. Has been a phone. Phone at Zima. Then next day he calls me and he says, no, now we are panap. I'm very sorry, yesterday and I said, no, why is that you did not communicate with me? So the issue, that man was a hustler, he was not an entrepreneur, he was not worried about the clients. Then there was a time when I was wanted to build a jurao. Then I went to this guy and I said, no, not jurao. Then he said, no, it will take 5 days. I want to talk about ethics in entrepreneurship. He said it will take 5 days. Then first day he came through, Bangwesa side the wall. Then the man disappeared for 5 weeks. I was trying to call that person, ask Batika. Try to text that person, ask Batika. Then later on, after 5 weeks, he came back and said, no, drop it, Saho. And within 3 days, it finished. But issue about the damage that he had done to me now, and people, they were seeing the juror when they were saying, no, then I get a juror. I could not refer those people to that man. Because Angasina, those ethics, he was not truthful. Because issue about you need to build trust with your clients. You must be reliable, and you must be a man of your words. Then later on, he lost business. So this is the kind of entrepreneurs or the hustlers that we have. They are not trustworthy. I remember there was a man who was telling me to go to then I wanted to buy fertilizer. The Nashka Kumban, the guys was sent, and that was looking like fertilizer. Do you think that person is ever going to grow? They're not growing. Why? Because they are hustlers. They are not entrepreneurs. Because entrepreneurs, what you need to do, you need to identify a problem. You need to be ethical. You need to tell the truth. No wonder why my business, Colgate, they've survived over a long period of time. Have you ever wondered why those kind of business, they survive from generation to generation? But our business, I've seen it, if you take a hustler, or a contract to do something, that person disappears. Also, picture after 3 to 4 days. So what you need to do now, you need to be trustworthy. If you are ethical, you need to be trustworthy. Then the issue of being honest. You need to be truthful, you need to be open, and also you don't need to take advantage of other people. There's an issue of transport that is actually troubling our nation, and it transport needs. But do you know what is happening with the combi drivers? Today, fuel yakwira 10%, but bus fare yakwira 100%. And when yakwira $1, yakwira $2. So the issue is people are not honest. So whatever that you do in your business, you need to be honest so that you become ethical. Then the issue of professionalism. Maybe let's hear a story or maybe an experience of someone who faced a business with these hustlers that we are talking about. Professionalism. That kind of an experience. Let's hear from lessons from experience. Anyone? With that experience.
I'm a lawyer by profession. When we were trained, we call our profession a noble profession because of the professionalism that you are supposed to practice. But I think it's coming from, I think it resonates with what Munya was sharing in terms of the social impact. These days, when you are professional, people think you're unbalanced. Okay? It's very sad. People are calling themselves entrepreneurs, but there is no professionalism at all, okay? In my profession, there are some cases that I can take down because on a balance of probability, you realize maybe you can't win the case. But these days, people just go to court. and they can win. Even something is very unethical or professional. It's very sad what we have turned our country into, because I think most of the impact is going to go to the generation of our children. Because if a child can buy brandy balls or those ganja cakes that you were talking about in Form 2, believe me, when they start working, ethics and profession, it's urchi balance, you understand? So it's very sad the way we are going as a people. And I think EntrePeers, you need to move. I think there's a call for you even to move to those ghetto areas and try and teach so that we salvage a bit of this professionalism that you're talking about. Thank you.
Ndoti panguva iyoyo ndiyo nguva yainyadzisa kuonekwa munhu ari HIV positive. This guy had access to the IT system. So you would like, if someone comes, waanoziva, aida kuzoona kuti result yake patest yanga chitwa test yei, what is the result? So waizozwa kuti ninguyoyo haani AIDS iyo. I think that one is one of the greatest of unprofessionalism andakamboona.
We are into HR consultants, so if you are in a business and you want us to set your HR systems available, and also I'm a board chairman of Healthy Cotton, so we are also looking for partners. If you want to grow your cotton, we are into export of cotton, so if you want to grow your cotton, so just look for me, then we'll make an arrangements and you see how best you can do in terms of impact for your business. Thank you very much.